Welcome to using your Gmail Melville account. When you go to melvilleschooldistrict.net, you should see this blue menu. We are going to be working in the Gmail function. Choose Gmail, sign in, and then it should bring you to your inbox. When you look at your inbox, you see anything that is not bold has been read. Anything that is in bold still needs to be read. To open a message, simply click on the tab. Gmail is by default set up into continued conversations. So what we have going on here is a conversation between physical science teachers asking if there's any books in the building. And what you notice is back in the inbox you can see 3 teachers' names here. Those are the teachers that have joined the conversation. When you open up this thread, this is the conversation thread. You can control whether or not you see things in a thread by using the settings. Simply go down here to the gear, highlight settings, and you have multiple options for what you want to do with your Gmail. If you look in the general tab and scroll down, you will see conversation view. If conversation view is off, new messages won't be grouped into conversations and existing conversations are ungrouped into separate messages. But if conversation view is on, like mine is, you can't separate the messages in a conversation. But if you want to send a reply, so it won't be added to the conversation, you can simply change the subject line. To compose a message, simply hit compose in the upper left-hand corner. A new message will appear in the lower right corner. You can minimize a message simply by hitting the minimize button and expand the message by hitting the arrow. In the to field, you can start to type the letters of the recipient's name, or you can even look up their email address. So if I need to send an email to Alicia Landers, I'm going to start by typing it in, and it'll bring up anything that has those 3 or 4 letters. Make sure when you're looking at these recipients that you choose the right person. We have multiple people in the district and you want to make sure that it's going to the right teachers and the right possible students. So I'm going to click on Alicia so I can send it to her. I'm also going to put a subject line in the text. We always need to have a subject so that it pops up when other people see in their inbox. Down at the bottom you can format your message simply by typing or clicking on this large A. When I type into the body, Alicia, I am using this email as an example. If I want to add a file attachment, I can click on the paperclip icon. This will open up something that's on my computer. So if I want to send her something about HOSA, I can attach it to her. It'll show up at the bottom of my document. To remove it, if I attach the wrong file, I simply have to click the X. You can also attach files by dragging and dropping them into the body of the email. So if I want to drag this HOSA document in here, I can simply drag it into the body, and again it appears at the very bottom. To send a message, there is a button at the bottom that simply says Send. If I decide to close it out before sending, it saves my message as a draft. Over here on the far left side, there is a menu about drafts. If you see, here is the one that I was sending to Alicia. When I'm done with it, I can simply open it up and hit send. To reply to a message, I can do the same thing. For example, Paul emailed me a question about the dates about kickoff. To reply to him, I simply had to hit the arrow on the side, and it pops up with an automatic another message in this thread. You can also change your reply format by clicking the arrow next to the recipients field, or add new addresses into the conversation by clicking directly on the recipients field. Open a conversation and select the message you want to reply to. So if I wanted to go back to here, if I want to reply just to Miss Neely, I can open up her conversation and hit the reply. And if you see, it's only going to go to Miss Neely, even though Miss Jenkins and Miss Anderson are also included in the thread. I can also forward a message. So if I wanted to take this from Mrs. Neely and forward it to my department chair, again, over here there is a down arrow that gives me a whole list of things. I hit forward, and now my recipient's box is empty. If I want to send the entire conversation so that my department chair knows what's happening in Oakville, I can simply hit more and forward all. and everything will be sent. If I scroll down, you can see here's Mrs. Neely's response, here's Miss Jenkins' response, and here's Miss Anderson's response. So everything I can send to my department chair. You can also print a message or an entire conversation. To print a single message, all you have to do is highlight the printer icon, and it pulls up your entire conversation to print.